Hi, I'm Logan McCormick, and today I'm going to be talking to you about psychologism. First, I'd like to start off by talking about psychology. So, psychology is just why a person does what they do, why they say what they say, why they think what they think. It's really just the basis of every human, and it's very important that we understand it. And psychologism is the relevance of psychology in every other science, and how we should find more importance in that, and we should really, strive to understand that. And I was really drawn to this topic because I'm an exercise science major, and last semester I took a class that is exercise science and sports psychology. So it really just showed me the psychological relevance in exercise science, and it was so interesting to see how psychology dealt with different parts of exercise and sports and how important it really should be to us. And so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about psychology and its relevance in exercise science. So the first thing I have to talk about is your injury experience and psychology, because injuries are a big thing in exercise science. It's like the main thing studied. So it's very important that we understand how psychology would have to deal with this. And the first thing I have to say about it is the slow recovery rates that can come from not having that relevance in psychology. So if you don't have some kind of therapy, or you're not dealing with your emotions and not being psychologically taken care of as long as physically taken care of during your physical therapy experiences and stuff, then you're less likely to recover at a quick rate, and you may never even make it back to your full potential. A lot of people get mental blocks throughout their injury and are unable to come back and fully perform to how they used to. And if they were to have, some psychological help as they were going through that injury, they'd have a better chance at making it back to their 100% effort and their 100% abilities. So that's very important. And I read an article where Dr. Weiser actually said that it is almost as important for physical therapists to give that positive energy and to just really focus on the mental health of their patients as it is to, help them out physically. Because if they're having a positive attitude and they're able to deal with that injury mentally, then they will be able to recover faster and will just overall have a better recovery experience. And the next thing I want to talk about is the psychological pressure. So there's a lot of psychological pressure whenever it comes to the exercise science field. And I read this quote from a different article, and to quote it, it's there, you have to be tough and play through the pain. And I think as we've grown up, we've all heard, oh, just rub some dirt on it, or saying like that, which just really shows that as a society we've normalized the just tough through it. And a lot of times that can lead to further injury, where if we were to be able to psychologically accept the fact that it's okay to be hurt, it's okay to be sick, it's okay to not play through it sometimes, that we could prevent injury better. And it's just very important to understand that. And the next thing I kind of have to say about that is, again, the psychological pressure of abusive training, which we've kind of normalized in our society, of wanting to be the one that works hardest. And so sometimes trainers will really push their athletes, or athletes will really push themselves and kind of abuse their training and do it too much, which can also lead to injury. And if they could be able to psychologically understand that, okay, that's probably not the best for me, or if they had a psychological coach with them to be telling them it's okay not to work out 3 times a day, then they could be able to slow that down and really just do better mentally and physically. Another thing is the parent pressure. A lot of people feel pressure from their parents to perform well, and so that will also cause them to push themselves. And again, if they had a psychological coach, their coach could probably tell them, hey, it's okay, they are your parents, they're going to be proud of you no matter what, and just really be able to walk you through that and help you to not push yourself so far that you get injured. My last thing is how psychology could help exercise scientists through helping their exercise people and their athletes through disorders and injury. I read another article where it was discussing judo athletes that are females and the correlation they had to being bulimic. A lot of these girls were more prone to be bulimic because they felt that they needed to have the stamina of an athlete, and it was really important to them, and so they would push themselves, and that's just not okay. And I think that if exercise scientists, were to adopt more of a psychology perspective, they'd be able to help people with this, and we could lower the numbers of people that had to deal with things like that. And it can also, sports and exercise can also lead to anxiety and depression if it's taken too far. And I think it's just important that we, think of the psychology of that, and that we really push people to not take their exercise experience and their sports experience so far that it affects them in a negative way. And I just challenge y'all to really think of different ways that psychology can take place in different sciences, and just how important it is that we understand psychology and how important it is to science. Thank you.